Hello everyone and welcome back to Color Scholar. Today we will use 3D capabilities of Photoshop to achieve realistic reflections. So without wasting any time, let's head to Photoshop. As you can see, I have already opened an image of cityscape that I have downloaded from unsplash.com. You can download the image for free from the link in the description. First we need to make a duplicate copy of the image so that we have a backup if anything goes wrong. Use Ctrl plus J to make a duplicate copy. Let's name it cityscape. Now I will make a new layer above it and fill it with black and name the layer reflection. Now select the reflection and cityscape layers and go to 3D, new mesh from layer and postcard. You are about to create a 3D layer. Would you like to switch to the 3D workspace? Click yes on the pop-up box. As you can see on the layers panel, both of our layers are now converted into 3D layers, which is indicated by this icon. If you can't see 3D panel and properties panel, go to window and select 3D. And also properties panel from here as well, as we need both of them for this tutorial. Now in the layers panel, select the reflection and cityscape layers and merge these two layers by going to 3D, merge 3D layers. Next let's move to 3D panel. Make sure you have the move tool selected to access the 3D tools. If you have any other tool selected, the 3D tools will not be visible, so make sure of that. Now click on Orbit the 3D camera tool, and with the current view selected, you can move the mesh or the layers in the 3D panel, and you can see our two layers stacked together against one another. You can get back to default view by right clicking over here and selecting default. Now we need to make the two layers perpendicular to each other in order to create reflection. To do this, select the reflection mesh and then go to properties and click on coordinates. Put the x-axis as 90 degrees and press enter. You can see the layers are now perpendicular to each other by selecting the current view and orbiting the 3D camera. Now we need to position the reflection mesh where the reflection will occur. When you select the reflection mesh, you will get X, Y and Z axis or this colorful axis, and you can use this axis to move the mesh. Let us bring the mesh forward by clicking on the green axis and dragging it to the left. The next step is to bring the reflection mesh down where we want our reflection to occur. Select the blue axis and drag it down. To get to default view, right click over here and select default. Now with the current view selected, in the properties panel, go to 3D camera and adjust the FOV or field of vision value to about 20 and press enter. Make sure lens is selected here and leave other values as they are. Now click on the slide the camera tool and holding the shift key on the keyboard, drag down to fill the canvas with our mesh. We will be getting our reflection on the black area. Now we will work on the texture for the mesh. Inside the cityscape mesh is the material for the mesh called cityscape. Select that and its material properties will show up in the properties panel. Now we need to change our flat image in the 3D plane such that it is emitting light for the reflection to take place. For this, click on the icon besides diffuse and select edit texture. The texture cityscape.psd is contained in this scene in multiple places. Changes to this texture will appear in all places. Click OK. A new window will open up with our original image. Go to the layers panel and press Ctrl plus A to select the canvas and then press Ctrl plus C to copy the layer to the clipboard. To deselect, press Ctrl plus D. Now make a new layer and fill it with black. Save the document and close it. We have now removed the texture from the image. Go to a couple of settings below over here and besides the illumination, click and select new texture. Type in a dimension of the original image. Make sure the unit is pixel. In the new document, press Ctrl plus V to paste the image that we copied to the clipboard earlier. Save and close the document. Now our image is emitting light in the 3D plane. Next, go to 3D panel again and select the reflection material from reflection mesh right over here. In the properties panel for the material, keep shine at 80%, reflection at 100%, roughness at 10%, and leave other settings as default. For the bump, click on the folder icon and select new texture. Add in the dimension as the original image. And press enter. Go to layers panel and fill the canvas with 50% gray by pressing Shift plus F5 to bring in the fill content and select 50% gray in the content drop down list. Now add some noise by going to filter, noise, and keep the amount at about 400%. Distribution is Gaussian and monochromatic. Next, go to filter, blur, motion blur, keep the angle at 0 degrees and distance at 70 pixels. Again go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur and blur it out by about 1.5 pixels. You can see there are some irregularities on both sides of the canvas. And to remedy this, select the clone stamp tool and holding Alt, sample the nearby area. And click once on the top corner and hold Shift and click on the bottom corner. Do the same for the other side as well. After that, save the document and close it. The final step is to render our 3D. And since it takes a lot of time to render in Photoshop, you can adjust the quality of the render by going to Edit, Preference and 3D. In the ray tracer, keep the high quality threshold to 5 and render tile size to large. Click OK. Now start the render process by going to 3D, render 3D layers, or you can use the shortcut Alt Shift Ctrl plus R. Or you can simply click on this icon that does the render. You can see the render progress right over here. Depending on your computer system and the image quality, it can take from 20 minutes to an hour to complete the render. You can always press the escape key on the keyboard to abort the rendering. Then you can go back to 3D panel, change whatever settings you want in the properties and then start rendering again simply by clicking on this render button. So this is the image that you get after rendering for about 5 minutes. You can change the intensity of the ripples in the water by going to bump and selecting edit UV properties. In scale you can change the value for V/Y to about 200% and click OK. Then start the rendering again. This will make the ripples more exaggerated. And here is the final image after rendering for about 15 minutes. And that's how you can create reflection in Photoshop using 3D. That's all for today. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you back for some more. See you next time on Color Scholar.